the silent killer of the rainforest.
Deep within the steaming heart of the Amazon, where moisture clings to every surface and unseen life hums in countless rhythms, there exists a creature so small and delicate that few could ever imagine it conceals one of the most lethal biological secrets on the planet. Among tangled roots and rotting leaves along the bark of trees that mirror decay itself moves a quiet and unassuming predator, the Lonomia caterpillar. Its soft bristles and gentle form disguise a power beyond
comprehension. Beneath those fragile hairs lies a venom of extraordinary complexity, a living biochemical weapon so potent that even a light brush of contact can send the human body into internal collapse. For generations, this creature remained largely unnoticed by the outside world. The local people knew better. They treated it with wary respect, whispering of fevers, sudden bleeding, and mysterious deaths that followed a simple touch against the wrong tree trunk. But it was not until the late 20th century that the wider world began to understand the danger. In the 1980s, across the humid forests of southern Brazil, reports began to emerge of healthy people dying without warning. Farmers, laborers, and children struck down by massive internal bleeding. Doctors soon uncovered the common link. Each victim had brushed against an innocent-looking caterpillar, later identified as Lonomia obliqua. What scientists discovered inside its venom would challenge everything known about toxins. Unlike the venom of snakes, which kills by paralyzing or destroying tissue, the venom of this caterpillar works differently. It dismantles the body's ability to stop bleeding, turning the very mechanisms that preserve life against their host. The victim's blood can no longer clot, and soon the internal organs drown in their own hemorrhage. Yet this was only the surface of its horror. The venom did not simply prevent clotting, it reprogrammed the body's chemistry. Enzymes within the toxin deceived the blood into dissolving its own protective clots, triggering a runaway reaction that transformed minor injuries into fatal wounds. Researchers were left to ask how such a fragile insect could evolve a toxin so precise and devastating. When scientists began isolating the venom's components, they identified more than a dozen unique proteins, many interacting with human physiology in ways never before observed. Some of these molecules bore no resemblance to any known compound in animals or plants. It appeared that this toxin had evolved not merely for defense or attack, but perhaps for something deeper, possibly to protect the caterpillar from microbial threats or to regulate its own internal chemistry. In the rainforest's intricate web of life, the mystery only deepened, for unlike most venomous creatures that inject toxins through fangs or stingers, the Lonomia delivers its venom through fine hollow spines that snap into the skin with the faintest touch. Many victims feel nothing at first, only to experience dizziness, nausea, and bruising hours later, followed by unstoppable bleeding from the nose, gums, and eyes, and in the worst cases, complete failure of the body's internal systems. One of the earliest recorded mass encounters occurred when a group of Brazilian farmers accidentally brushed against a cluster of Lonomia caterpillars clinging to a tree trunk. Within days, several were hospitalized. Some did not survive. Their deaths forced scientists to investigate, and what they uncovered astonished them even more. The venom's proteins, while deadly, also had reversible properties. They did not simply destroy, but could theoretically be counteracted or redirected. This paradox transformed the Lonomia from a nightmare into a potential source of medical breakthroughs. Researchers discovered that its chemistry might one day help treat strokes or dissolve dangerous blood clots in patients. The same venom that killed could also heal. Even with modern research, the riddle of its existence remains unresolved. Why does such a small insect possess such an intricate biochemical system? Evolution rarely crafts such complexity without purpose. Did predators, parasites, or unseen microbes drive the caterpillar toward this defense, or is there an ecological function still beyond human perception? Perhaps its venom plays a role we have yet to recognize within the balance of the rainforest. But one truth endures. Each discovery about this creature seems to raise even greater questions. What other toxins and cures might be hidden among the millions of insect species that still inhabit Earth's jungles, each harboring chemistry we have barely begun to understand?
As darkness descends across the jungle, the Lonomia disappears once more, emerging perfectly with the bark motionless and unseen, yet its shadow remains in the caution of those who know its danger and in the curiosity of the scientists who study its power. This small, soft creature, capable of ending a life with a touch and perhaps one day saving one, continues to defy explanation in the vast symphony of life and decay that is
the rainforest. It endures as one of nature's most haunting enigmas, a reminder that the same forces that create can also destroy, and that within the smallest forms of life the greatest mysteries of existence may lie hidden. The enigma of the Northern Valley.
In the remote chill of central Norway, where mountains fade into fog and silence hums beneath the whisper of snow, lies a valley cloaked in wonder and secrecy. This place, known as the Hesteland Valley, rests between pine-covered ridges and icy rivers, where the night sky burns with auroras. Yet hidden among these celestial lights, another phenomenon emerges, one that defies reason and
explanation. For decades, mysterious glowing orbs have appeared across this isolated land, floating, drifting, and pulsing with a strange and silent awareness. They call them the Hesteland lights. Witnesses describe them as radiant spheres of white, yellow, or pale blue moving gracefully through the air or darting with impossible speed. At times they hover motionless, illuminating the ground below with eerie brilliance. At others they streak across the sky, vanishing without a trace. Their silence is what unnerves most people. They move without sound, as if the world itself holds its breath, waiting for them to fade. The reports stretch back to the early 20th century. It was during the late 1970s and early 1980s that the phenomenon truly captured attention. Locals began witnessing the lights, frequently sometimes hovering for long minutes, then suddenly accelerating across the valley, their erratic motion unlike anything known to aviation or natural weather patterns.
By 1984, researchers from across Europe arrived determined to uncover the truth. Scientists and engineers established observation posts equipped with cameras, sensors, and radar systems. This effort became known as Project Hestelin, a study that would span years. The evidence they gathered was astonishing. The lights were real. They were not illusions nor tricks of atmosphere,
but tangible luminous objects. Video recordings captured them hovering in the sky, motionless for over an hour. Instruments detected energy emissions inconsistent with any known artificial or natural light source. Radar confirmed solid targets, yet no aircraft appeared in the area, and no conventional explanation could reconcile the data. Theories emerged attempting to ground the phenomenon in science. One idea proposed that the lights were formed from ionized dust particles suspended in the valley's unique electromagnetic environment. Another theory pointed to piezoelectric activity, where quartz-rich rocks under stress generate electrical discharges, creating glowing plasma-like forms. In this interpretation, the valley itself acted as a living generator, producing light from geological tension. Yet even these rational ideas fell short. The lights were too bright, too structured, too unpredictable to be dismissed as mere natural plasma. Some seemed to react to observation, others hovered against strong winds, shifting position with uncanny precision. As logical explanations faltered, speculation grew. Some believed the lights represented unknown atmospheric energies, forces not yet understood by modern physics. Others whispered of secret experiments, technologies tested in remote wilderness far from public eyes, and inevitably many turned to the extraterrestrial theory, suggesting that the Hestelin lights might be manifestations of intelligent visitors silently watching from the skies over time. These possibilities merged into legend, part science, part folklore, all bound by mystery. Modern research continues. Automated observatories now record the valley year-round. Sensors scan for electromagnetic changes. Cameras capture faint glows above the snow. Though the lights appear less frequently today, they remain as mesmerizing as ever. Photographs show orbs splitting, merging, and fading in silence, yet no hypothesis fully explains their behavior. They are measurable and visible, but beyond complete comprehension, poised between the boundaries of science and the unknown, like a riddle carved into the northern sky.
Perhaps the Hestelin phenomenon arises from natural forces colliding in ways we cannot yet model. Perhaps cosmic energies touch the Earth in fleeting moments, leaving only glowing traces before returning to the void. Or perhaps the lights are something deeper, an echo of human curiosity, a reflection of our need to seek understanding in the dark. Whatever they are, the mystery endures. On clear winter nights, the valley still draws observers
who stand in silence beneath the cold stars. Sometimes they see nothing, other times a light flickers across the horizon, steady and alive, and for an instant it feels as though the universe itself responds, whispering back across the still air, reminding us that even now, in an age of satellites, data, and science, there are wonders that remain unbound by explanation.